Are you a first-time homebuyer struggling to get into today's housing market? Well, today I'm going to be giving you 5 key tips in order to purchase your first property sooner rather than later. Welcome back, guys. It's Tom here from Off Mortgages. Thanks again for tuning in, and as always, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss videos like this one in the future. With today's housing market being absolutely insane, I figured it would be a perfect time to put together a video going over 5 key tips for you first-time homebuyers out there trying to get into the market. So let's dive right into it. Tip number 1, get pre-approved the right way. If there's anything to remember from this video, please remember this tip. The worst thing you can do is go house hunting without actually having a full pre-approval and not knowing what your budget is. Especially in today's market where we're seeing a lot of multiple offers and people going in with no conditions, you definitely don't want to be one of those people putting in no conditions as well as not having a pre-approval done. If you're someone going in with a no condition offer as well as no pre-approval done for yourself, then you're really setting yourself up for failure. It's also important to note that not all pre-approvals are treated equally. Just because someone has a rate hold doesn't necessarily mean that they are fully pre-approved. Now, if you're asking what a full pre-approval is, a full pre-approval would be someone that actually collects all your documents up front, such as your income documents and your down payment documents, and they go over the whole file and make sure that there's going to be no issues going forward in terms of getting you approved. Now, if you're someone that just went into a bank and someone helped you lock in a rate without actually looking at the big picture, then please go out to a mortgage broker who will actually look at the full picture and underwrite the full file up front. That way, there's not going to be any issues going forward when it comes time to put in an offer down on a place. Tip number 2, stop saving for a 20% down payment. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting there saying to yourself right now, I don't want to pay that insurance premium. Now, I'm here to tell you that you may actually want to consider paying that premium, and here's why. If you look at the overall big picture, you'll see that the appreciation that you would gain from owning a home far outweighs what you would pay initially for that insurance premium. So let me give you an example. Looking at this table here, we have a chart with a 5% down now versus a 20% down in 2 years from now. So let's look at the column with the 5% down. So if we use a mortgage example of $500,000, you're going to be paying a down payment of $25,000 for 5% down. Now, the insurance premium on that is going to be a hefty $19,000, and the PST on that is going to be $1,520. Now, the market appreciation using a 5% appreciation, which is pretty modest, over 2 years is $50,000. So if you subtract the insurance premium from the $50,000, you're going to be looking at a gain of $29,480. Now, if we go over to the 20% example in 2 years, using the same mortgage amount, you're going to be having a 20% down payment, which is $100,000. So you're going to have no insurance premium or PST insurance, so that's good. But if we look at the market appreciation, we have nothing because we were not living there for the 2 years. So we missed out on those 2 years of appreciation. So ultimately, we're left at $0. That's why I'm a big fan of going the route of with whatever down payment you have to start out with, whether it's a 5, 10, or 15% down payment. I would much rather get into the market with today's prices versus the future prices because it's going to be very hard to save up to that 20% down payment and compete against the appreciation. Tip number 3, buy in baby steps. So what I mean by that is if you're someone who really wants a house with a big backyard, maybe have that detached garage for that garage gym, whatever it is, you may not be able to attain that right away. So it's important to take things in baby steps when it comes to real estate. Now, to use me as an example, my first purchase was a 638 square foot condo. Now, this was a very small condo and it worked for the time being. However, I was only in there for 2 years because what I did was I gained that appreciation over the years, and it allowed me to sort of build in steps and take my next step to a townhouse. So that's why I recommend first-time homebuyers to buy in baby steps, because if you're sitting there waiting to purchase that dream home of yours because you may want X and Y, yeah, it's going to be harder and harder to attain that dream property unless you take the baby steps and take advantage of the market appreciation. Tip number 4, use your RSPs for your down payment. Now I have a whole nother video explaining how this works, but just to give you a general idea of how to use your RSPs for your down payment, essentially you can use up to $35,000 per applicant. So if you and your spouse are going in on a home, you can use up to $70,000 of your RSPs to take for your down payment tax-free. Now there is one stipulation to this. You do have to pay back those RSPs within 15 years of the closing date of your home. However, if you're someone that doesn't have much of a down payment saved up, but you do have a lot of money sitting in your RSPs, then this is a great way to get into the market by using those RSPs for your down payment. Tip number 5, use a mortgage broker. So this tip kind of falls into tip number 1 in the sense that using a mortgage broker to get pre-approved is the best way to go. Now, mortgage brokers also have other benefits to them, such as getting the best mortgage product for you. They'll also ensure that you're on the right track to purchase in your first place. For example, if you're someone that may have a slightly lower credit score that needs to be improved, seeking help from a mortgage broker will ensure that you get that credit score to a certain point where you would get approved for a mortgage. They're also there to coach you on which route to go when it comes to seeking that down payment that you need. For example, if you're someone that doesn't have any down payment, they may suggest going to a family member for gift money. So my advice for you first-time home buyers is if you haven't worked with a mortgage broker yet, or you haven't spoken to someone yet, definitely get out there and reach out, because it's not going to cost you anything, and they're definitely going to be there to coach you in how to purchase your first property sooner rather than later. So there you have it, guys. Those are my 5 key tips on how to purchase your first property. If you like what you see, be sure to like the video and subscribe down below. That way we grow the channel so more people like you can see this.